Hey YouTube, coming to you from my son's bedroom with all his lovely artwork on the wall for your viewing pleasure. Um, Excuse my appearance, I just came from the gym and randomly decided to redo my intro. I originally did it at work, but the audio was kind of messed up, and since I have had a few audio mishaps, I just made the executive decision to start this one over. So, for those of you who have missed my intro video or my last video, my name is Phoenix. I am currently a PAC facilitator at an elementary school in eastern Nebraska. And I wanted to kind of make a video about some of my favorite things and just the most useful things I personally feel that I have in my PAC room. Um, and I use them for pre-K through fifth grade. Some of the things are more so for my K2 kids, but a lot of these things can be used for all of those grade levels that we have at our school. So if you are a PAC facilitator looking for some resources, or if you are a classroom teacher and maybe you're looking for some things to add to your Common Corner, hopefully there are some things in this video or even everything in this video that you might find interesting enough to try in your classroom. So we're gonna get straight into it. Going through some of my favorite things to use in the PAC room. So first and foremost, I love these little breathing balls. I love to use them for my little kids. So we breathe in and out. And they really love to do belly breathing with these. I kind of explain how their belly goes in and out and just like how we can use these. My bigger kids like to open them and just toss them down. It's something to really get their mind off of whatever was happening so that we can then talk about it, walk through it, what they did well, what they could do better on, and so forth before they start doing like some work for me. The next thing that I really love and use a lot in my PAC room are puzzles. Um, these puzzles were super cheap. I got them on Amazon. And I know I said I'd say where things came from. My son's grandma bought him these. I want to say from our zoo. So that's that, but I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. This bundle I got from Amazon, they're really good for teaching my kids perseverance. That's why I like these, because as simple as it looks, it's very difficult to put the pieces back in the box. And so they always say, I can't do this. They will come and say, this is too hard, but then they're very proud of themselves when they, when they do get it done. So if you do not have puzzles, I would say get puzzles. The third thing that I love to use in my PAC room are coloring sheets. You can print out coloring sheets from anywhere. I found these online just through a Google search. All the kids can do different ones. I've got a couple different ones here. Sometimes my boys like dinosaurs. Sometimes my boys like Minecraft. Sometimes my girls like mermaids. Sometimes they like unicorns. Sometimes they like Barbie. So I tend to change these up. I also keep some seasonal ones over in my calming corner. So really just depends on kind of what your kids like, but coloring pages are really great. And they calm the kids down really fast. This is the last thing that I really love in my PAC room, but it's split into a few different things. So little spots. Little spot books are golden, no matter how old your kids are. So I went to a few different trainings in my district. And I also emailed out to my SEL team, so social emotional learning team, and they were able to order and send me these. I use these every single day, without fail. So I have 3 different versions of the books. I have just the regular box set with 8 emotions, comes with confidence, anger, sadness, the scribble spot, which is just a mix of emotions, anxiety, peaceful, love, and happiness. That's this one. This one is the Take Action box set, which is really great. It has honesty, responsibility, respectful, spot in the world, organization, patience, kindness, and safety. So this one is really good so that we can kind of put certain things into action in the school and outside of school. The last one that I have is the feelings spot books. These are really, really good for my littles that have those big emotions and they're trying to figure out how to get through them or work through them. This one has the emotions detective, which when I get to the next one, it'll be like a how you find your emotion, and we use these cards. Empathy, worry, boredom, spot of belonging, frustration, flexible thinking, and calm spot. So I use this one more than any of the other ones, but all of them are great and I use them every day. For the emotions detective, this is another spot resource that I use for that. Sometimes my kids come in here and they have no idea what they're feeling. You can tell I use them a lot because they're just kind of wearing down and ripped and stuff. I need to get some more soon. But even for my little kids, they'll come in here and they won't know what their emotion is. They can't describe it. They can't feel it. So these have pictures of the different emotions and they can look at the faces and they can kind of like identify their emotion. We'll come over to a spot book that kind of helps us either take an action step, identify our feeling, or what have you. I might even read the detective one first, then we find our feeling, and then we figure out our action step. Goes really, really, really great together as far as that's concerned. And I have the little cards here and I have the jumbo cards because some of my like second, third graders like to use the bigger ones, whereas my pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, sometimes kids like to have the small ones. So something for everyone. But yeah, they're colorful. It says that these colorful cards feature both feelings and emotions. Parents, teachers, caregivers, and counselors of young children ages 3 to 8 love using these spot cards. And I would agree with that. So there's 64 cards with emotions and feelings in both of these packs. So if you do not have these, I would definitely recommend it at least. And again, email your social emotional learning person or your MTSS-B for us, which is multi-tiered like systems for behavior for us, MTSS-B. They will be able to hopefully provide you with this. If not, if your principal has extra funding, they might be able to order this for you too. The third part of the spot books and the very last thing that I love and use all the time is the pillow, right? So we'll read the spot detective and they're like searching for their emotion. This is the scribble spot. It just has a bunch of the emotions together because I teach the kids that they might have more than one emotion that they're dealing with. And the biggest one might be the one that like is the hardest, but maybe it's harder because of a different emotion. So we go through these. Has a little zipper on the back. Excuse me. When you open up the zipper, it has the different emotions that match the books, right? So we've got anxiety, scribble, peaceful, anger, confidence, sadness, love, and happiness, right? And sometimes this is something that I will use with the kids too, especially my littles, right? So if they come in and they're like, I'm angry, right? And I'm like, okay, well, how do you want to feel after that? And they might say, peaceful. And I'm like, okay, well, are there any other emotions that you feel? Or why do you feel angry? Or why are you feeling this big emotion? And how do you think we can get here? So then we will read the peaceful spot so they can understand what these words mean. Because sometimes they just look at the picture and they kind of go from there. But I want them to also understand what those emotions and feelings mean, which is where these books come in. So if you can get any of these resources for your PAC room, and honestly, even if you're a teacher and you want to have these in your calming space, because I plan to order a set of these to go into my calming space, I think that they're a really, really good investment, especially if you're going to be a teacher of pre-K through second grade. These all come in handy. So hopefully you got something out of that. And these are some resources that you can use in your classroom or even email out to, like I said, your principal, SEL, MTSS-B coordinators so that they can put them on order for you. A lot of this stuff you can also get on Amazon. The pictures you can print out for free online from free sites and just print them off at your school. But yeah, I love these things so much, and they are so beneficial to all my students in my PAC room when they come in here to kind of work through whatever it is they're working through. Sometimes they just need to identify those emotions or take their mind off of something with a toy, and then they will be able to open up refreshed and be willing to work through whatever they're working through, and even get into a better mind space so they can complete their work. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully you plan to use some of these resources in your PAC room or classroom. And I will see you in the next one.